everyone, this is Veronica, and today we are going to discuss the DNA technology bill. This has been recently passed by Lok Sabha. Though you might have heard about its features earlier also, we'll discuss the features as well as what are the uses and applications of this bill and what are the criticisms for this bill in detail. For my video updates, you can follow me on Instagram, and for the PDF of this lecture, it will be uploaded on my Facebook profile or Telegram channel. So guys, this is a channel StudyIQ. If you're preparing for any government job, our pen drive and tablet courses are also available. For additional information, you can call us on these numbers or you can visit our website. Now see what is the relevance of this topic in your exam. In your mains paper 3, Science and Technology from the UPSC perspective. Right, so it will be covered under this topic, and at objective if you're preparing for any government job or UPSC prelims, so DNA technology bill, what is the use and application, regulation bill, what is the use of this bill, that is important, in the features of the bill. And at mains level, understanding the importance of DNA profiling, that how it can help to curb the crime in India, is important. Now why it is in news? Because this bill that provides for regulation of use and application of DNA technology. So DNA technology was being used already, but now this bill provides a regulation on it for establishing the identity of certain categories like persons, including offenders, criminals, victims, suspects under trials, and this has been recently passed in the Lok Sabha. Now we'll discuss the aim of this bill. The use of DNA data is also likely to be useful in quickly identifying the missing person, because earlier you used to report to the this particular police station, and then they used to search for the search teams were sent. But in case there are certain unidentified dead bodies there whose face has been destroyed, so by matching the DNA we could come to the conclusion faster. We can eliminate that the person is living or dead. We can eliminate the doubts also, right? So it will help in resolving criminal cases in which repeated offenders might be involved. So like by this we are making a DNA data bank, so that if the person A is doing crime in the year 2008, he has been jailed for some months, a small crime, or he is a repeated offender. So when he'll be caught again, he will get caught again in like 2011. So we will know that he's a repeated offender from the DNA data bank. So this is the aim of this bill. Now this includes offences under the Indian Penal Code 1860, as well as offences under other laws such as Immoral Traffic Prevention Act 1956, the Medical Termination of Pregnancy 1971, the Protection of Civil Rights 1955, and the Motor Vehicles Act 1988. So it will help in other cases also, in other laws also. Now let's come to the features of the bill. The first, if we talk about the procedures, so you should know that the Home Ministry recently circulated a set of guidelines on how to search crime scenes. So crime scenes are very important here. So how the crime scenes should be searched, and this DNA should be collected, stored and transported. So the proper guidelines were given by the Home Ministry. Now accreditation. See, as many errors occur before samples get to the laboratory, so there is a requirement of quality assurance in the bill, and consideration is given to an independent forensic science regulator also, who should oversee the certification for preventing contamination. But about procedures, considering the lack of expertise within our police departments and the carefree attitude of the procedural compliances, there is imminent risks also. So we are analyzing this side by side. So when we talk about regulator, this bill, the bill's proposed DNA regulatory board is too powerful and seems insufficiently transparent or accountable. So this is a feature. Hence, there is a need to be fixed, and an independent ethics board should be set up to rule on aspects of privacy and other moral concerns. So here they are setting up a regulator, but they are missing an ethic board which should be set up along with it. Now about the safeguards of this bill that have been mentioned in the bill. The bill allows for involuntary collection of DNA samples from suspects of criminal cases with certain restrictions. Further, it is only a case of minor offense. Only in a case of minor offense, then a magistrate order is required before DNA samples are collected. So like if there is no minor, there is an adult person, involuntary collection of sample could be done, but in case of minor, a magistrate order is needed. And this bill does not have provisions for the destruction of DNA samples and removal of innocent people's DNA profiles from the database. So this is one of the loophole of the bill. And however, these provisions are inadequate. These provisions which we discussed, the features here, the features which I have discussed, they seem to be inadequate, as the removal of innocent people's record has not been stated to be automatic. So that should be there, because here somewhat you are compromising with the privacy of the innocent people. But however, these are the features of this bill. But there is use and application of this bill also. For example, by bringing this bill, there is a scope of expanding this application to DNA-based forensic technologies, and it will help to support and strengthen the justice delivery system. The speed of justice could be enhanced. Next, it will help in solving the crimes also. It will help to identify the missing person, and it will there will be a data bank which could be used in whole nation and worldwide also. Now, speedier justice delivery system and increased conviction rate, because earlier the people who used to get rid of any case because lack of proof, here the conviction rate will also improve. And the cross-matching between persons reported missing and unidentified dead bodies found in various parts of the country, here also they can get help. And even the identity of victims in mass disasters, DNA technology could help. This regulation can help there. And regulation of DNA laboratories will be done, and this bill seeks to ensure the data remain protected. So they also talk about protection of data, because there is certain kind of punishment if there is a misuse and abuse in terms of privacy rights of our citizens. Now, under this bill, there are two major components. One is DNA data bank, as I told you, and other is DNA regulatory board. Now, what is there in DNA data bank? There will be two kinds of data bank. One is national one and multiple regional ones. Okay, one is national and other is multiple regional ones. Multiple regional ones. Now, every data bank will maintain DNA data in one of the following categories, whether it is a crime scene index, okay, or it could be the suspect or under trials suspects, because those are not the criminals, they are the under trials. Okay, then there could be offenders, repeated offenders also, missing persons, and unknown deceased persons index. And unknown, the dead bodies they will have the data of those dead bodies, unknown deceased persons index also. So they will maintain these data banks in these categories. Now, other is DNA regulatory board. See, the regulatory board will comprise 12 members. Some of them will be experts in the field of biological sciences, whereas the others will be the Director General of the NIA, the directors of CBI, the heads of the Center of DNA Fingerprinting and Diagnostics and the Central Forensic Science Laboratory, and a member of National Human Rights Commission. Now, the principal responsibility of the board will be to accredit DNA testing labs from which data can be collected for the data bank and ensure they maintain high quality standards at all times. Because what happens when you collect DNA, there is a large chances that it will get destroyed before you can use them. So we have to collect DNA in a very specific manner. We have to store it under very specific manner so it do not get destroyed. But in light of recent privacy and surveillance issues, the board responsibility towards ensuring DNA data is stored securely, used properly, and only for identification purposes will also be under the close watch, because they have to regulate and protect the privacy of the individuals. Now, there are some certain criticisms of this bill also. One is matter of consent. So how we can discuss this matter of consent? See, written consent is required from everyone for their DNA samples to be collected, processed and included in the database, except from those who have committed crimes with punishment of 7 years plus death. However, similarly, specific instruction is missing for the collection of DNA samples for civil matters. Such matters including parentage disputes, immigration, and transplantation of human organs. So there is no particular guideline about that, and the bill also doesn't state that the consent has to be voluntary. So here the consent is not voluntary. That is what they have written in the bill. So they have not properly stated it. Now there is a matter of civil dispute also, because it's not clear if DNA samples collected to resolve civil disputes will also be stored in Databank, although there is no index specific for the same, because as I told you, here there will be separate indexes, but for civil matters they have not specified any other index. And if a person's DNA data has entered the Databank, there is no process specified by which they can have it removed. All of these issues together could violate the right to privacy. It would be violated. Now, authenticity of DNA labs. See, there is also the question of whether the DNA labs accredited by the regulatory board are allowed to store copies of samples they analyze, and if so, how the owners of those samples can ensure that data is safe and needs to be removed from their own indexes. So it's unclear if the regulatory board will oversee other tests performed at the accredited labs. This could become necessary because unlike one's biometric data or PAN number, the human genome contains lots of information about every individual. So that is matter of huge concern, and there is an overreaching access to identity in this case, because a test undertaken to ascertain a person's identity by analyzing her DNA will in the process also reveals a lot of other things about that person, including the information about their ancestry, right, about diseases to which they are susceptible, etc. That is information that the individual has a right to keep private. So the bill does not specify which parts of an individual's DNA can be analyzed to ascertain their identity. The more parts are subjected to analysis, the more conclusively a person's identity can be established. But this can't be used as a license to pass more than is necessary, because then the DNA lab is also likely to reveal more information than it has the right to seek. So these are the criticisms for this bill. So what could be the way forward here? That this bill is important definitely when you see its aspects towards crime, conviction rate, offenders, criminals, but there is a huge concern of privacy related to it, where they have not written anything specific to protect the privacy of individual, because there should be such steps and this bill should be accommodative of the privacy of an individual. So if you have any queries, you can contact me, and this PDF will be uploaded on the Telegram channel. Thank you.